Hello friends and welcome back to House of Props. Today is going to be a quick build, and in keeping with the Mandalorian theme, I'm going to show you how I made this mini blaster that we saw Mando carry in the Book of Boba Fett. After some research, I was unable to find its designation in the Star Wars universe, but I did find it is fashioned after the FP-45 Liberator pistol from World War II. So if any of you have any ideas to what it is in the SWU, let me know in the comments below. But until then, let's get started. Files were made by Bosley in 1979 at Starbug Props. I split the main body in two to make it print without supports and then glued it back together with CA glue. Then all the pieces were sanded with a 220 grit pad on my hand sander to remove the print lines. All the small pieces are attached with CA glue, and then I used this glazing and spot putty to fill the seam where the main body had been split into two. You want to avoid getting this stuff on your skin because it is toxic, so I use a palette knife to apply a generous amount to the seam. Once it's completely dry, it can be smoothed with a 180 grit sandpaper. A lot of the putty will be removed, but the seam should be filled. If you sand too much, you can start to dig out the putty that needs to stay in the seam. If you need to apply more putty, go for it. Wait for it to dry and sand again. You can always add more and sand it away if you need to. While I finish smoothing, I would really appreciate it if you would click that subscribe button and the notification bell. Once the putty is sanded and smooth, the pistol can be coated with a 2-in-1 filler and sandable primer. This will help smooth out any areas where you can't get the sandpaper into. I will usually apply 2 to 3 coats and sand in between. Once a layer is dry, I will take a piece of 240 grit sandpaper and sand the surface. This sanding just helps even out the build. Once it's finished, go ahead and apply the next coat and repeat the process. Now that all 3 layers have been applied and sanded and the seam is looking filled and smooth, we can begin the painting process. Now it might seem a little weird to begin this way, but we're going to spray the pistol with a metallic silver spray paint. Moving forward, this silver will be exposed when we begin to apply aging and weathering to the pistol. With the silver layer dry, we can seal the pistol with a coat of hairspray. This is just a cheap way to create a barrier so we won't damage the silver as we move forward. Then the pistol can be coated with a satin black spray paint. Satin will give you a finish that doesn't look new and clean like a gloss would. When the paint is still tacky, you can see how it's not fully cured because it's still shiny. You can take a toothpick and begin to apply aging by scraping away some of the black. This scraping will reveal the protected silver layer and make the pistol look like it has been used and has seen a lot of service. This is the point where you can age the prop as much or as little according to your own personal taste or to whatever works with your costume. And there you have it, Mando's mini blaster that we got a glimpse of in the Book of Boba Fett. Hopefully we'll get to see it again. If you would like to make one of these for yourself, you can find a link to the files in the below description. I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to House of Props. And remember, if you are building any of my builds or using any of my templates, feel free and tag me at House of Props on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok because I would really like to see your fantastic work. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.